Okay, Ron, this is the final question under the topic of manifestation. And big thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Mouse for participation, and also, of course, to you, Ron, for all your help and wisdom. And we've got one final question to throw out there, and that question goes like this. Ron, what is the simplest way to start consistently manifesting or creating each day? How do I start?
Well, I think the biggest place, the best place, not the biggest, the best place, and perhaps the biggest, is knowing that you are the creator. You are the one responsible. What you either create or don't create is your responsibility. And if you don't want to do anything, you don't have to, unless you have other things that, making a living and putting gas in the car and going to work and that sort of stuff, which is part of third dimension. The simplest way to start consistently manifesting or creating each day in a conscious sort of way is to focus on the things that you want. And don't be canceling out your requests or your asking by saying, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if I'm worthy of that. Isn't that one of the biggest things that cancels out what we ask? I don't think I'm worthy of that. And who told you that what you do is so bad? Why do I ask that question? God looks at you and he says, you are my perfect creation. I gave you free agency. You create what you want. There's no judgment from me. So we come down here and we're raised in the third dimension with the cabal, the way that they have been doing things. And we've learned all kinds of negative stuff. Am I focusing on the negative stuff by bringing that away, bring that to mm, mm, as something to consider? I think being aware of that is important as long as we don't sit and focus on it. Let's just simply say, I would like to, okay, do a statement or a vision board or something of that nature. That's going to create some different thought processes. And was listening to somebody who was very successful in life. He had a vision board and he put a picture of a house on that vision board. And he says, and then he put it away and went about his activities and he bought the very house that the picture on that vision board was. And he didn't realize it until he got the vision board out and looked at it again to see how he's been doing. There's ways to do things. There's technology, psychological technology that is there for us to learn. But if we don't learn them, we won't know about it. Becoming aware of these principles and ideals is something that we have to be responsible for. If you want to be a creator, know what you're creating. Know that if you don't take care of that, you'll be an autopilot and you will create all kinds of stuff that you've never thought you wanted. But because you're focusing on them, you do. You create them. I would never create. Yes, you did. Don't argue with the facts. Don't argue with eternal principles, or you'll get what you've already got and keep getting the negative stuff that you don't like. There's a way to get around it. And your job is to find out what works for you and then focus on that and create it. Make it work. Become aware of what you're doing and your thought processes. Become aware of how you function in third dimension. Become aware. and without judging, say, well, I don't like that. I don't want to be that way. So what am I going to do? I'm going to not focus on it anymore. And then you get a chance to change. We need to be anxiously engaged in our work of ascension. If we're not, we'll stay the way we are. If you like that, then that's probably the best thing for you. But if you want to move out and get going on life, start focusing on the things that you want. Well, that's what I have for that question. And I guess that's the end of our discussion tonight, or for this series.
Ron, thank you so much. Thanks again to Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. We are so honored to be able to be here to present all this to you. And we will be back for another series here very soon. So look forward to it. Ron, thanks again. Have a great evening to everyone.
That
And
I will do.
Will
Thank
do.
you.
Good night. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you all.
we'll say for now, good night.